Sir Luton, and welcome to this month's Markov's Gallery. My name is Scott, and I'm here with Sam.
Howdy, pilgrims.
And we're going to go over all the stuff that we saw in May that we enjoyed seeing. That was not a good sentence.
No, also it's the stuff we saw in April.
Yes. Damn me in the past.
You do have a problem with the tense.
Yeah, I don't know why. So yeah, we're going to go over everything we saw in April. In May.
This is the month that was.
Yep. Before we kick things off, I will just mention there was a disheartening amount of Wild West extras painted in April. I did ask for anybody's submissions, and we did get one, which I've added into the gallery. And fortunately enough, there were a lot of people that did post their stuff for May, so we shouldn't have the same problem in May, but we didn't want to do less, so we have added an extra Dystopian Wars pick for both of us. So there will be 3 picks of Dystopian Wars this month. So it will be a bumper boats month, or a super ships month, or a
fantastic frigate month.
There you go. I knew there was another one. A delectable destroyers month.
I think we've done that now. I think we can lay that joke to rest.
I like that. Right, so let's kick off with the first pick.
So, Lilith Hart by Cohen. What can I say about this? Such a beautiful use of green on the armour. Vibrant and shiny and metallic. Wonderful flesh tones on it, on her skin, on her head and her arms that you can see. And the flame work on the jetpack is incredible. Do look this image up. Have a look at the rear view of it and see the flames coming out of this jetpack. It's unbelievable. And the way he's done the ball of smoke with a glow inside it so that it's smoke over fire. It's just brilliant. The feathers on the, I think it's a hawk, possibly a falcon, are really, really good. It looks like a real bird. It's everything we expect from Cohen. It really is. It's fantastic. A wonderful base work as well. Nice and simple. Just those tufts and that rock and a bit of sand underneath. Really good. And it is a great, great miniature to have as well. If you've got the Dead and Alive posse, you'll know how cool the models in it are. I know Cohen's working his way through the Dead or Alive posse. Last month we featured his Broad Arrow Jack from the same posse. He's this month we'll probably end up featuring in the next one his Jim McLean and his Jim Peterson, and also he's done the Wraith as well. We may end up featuring some of those next month. Wonderful work as always.
Yeah, the source lighting on this is insanely good. And it's one of the few times that, because most people opt for without the bird of prey attached to her arm, because it's a weird thing to include. I don't know if it's part of her background or whether it's just a cool look, she's in the sky sort of thing, but most people don't have it on. So it's nice to see one that has it on and it's painted again like to the standard we expect from Cohen. It's a really nice piece.
I'm looking forward to see you pronounce this, as you've just picked me up on how to say Zenithal. I'm not going to help you.
Right. Jadzia Kosciuszko.
Close. Jadzia Kosciuszko.
Jadzia Kosciuszko.
I had to get Google to help me with that when it first came out, but that's apparently how you say it.
This is by Michael Johnson, otherwise known as Mike the Warhost on YouTube. He submitted this in our shout out for more Wild West Extras stuff to be painted, and he shared this work in progress. And this was the 2019? Or was it 2018?
2019, I think.
It was the show exclusive. Yes, it was 2019 because this was the last one they did, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the 2019 event exclusive miniature with the single track monobike, which is really cool. It's an awesome model, and it was sort of a look at what's to come for Lost World Exodus for the Commonwealth, and it's a beautiful miniature. If I intended on having Commonwealth as my Lost World Exodus faction, I'd have probably bought one by now, but I'm saving myself for other things from Lost World Exodus. So, but he's done a really nice job. All the metallics look really sort of well defined. It's a good colour balance. Uniform's quite a nice colour as well. Same with the lance. It's just a really nice piece, and it's not quite finished yet. So hopefully in the future we can feature the completed article.
Yeah, I really like it as well. The metallics are lovely. It's very on colour scheme. It's an industrial colour scheme. It's not pretty and painted. It's metal and brass. It is that steampunk vibe that the game has smatterings of all the way through. Her uniform does look fantastic as well. As there's also some lovely work on the feathers. So I can't wait to see those finished. And that lance it's definitely got some lovely highlight work coming towards the end where the electrical pointy death bit is. And I love the basing he's done for it. Again, I suspect that's going to get better, but it's nice churned mud, which, as you mentioned, this is a bike with a caterpillar track on it. That's what it's going to do to the ground, and that's the sort of thing it's designed for going over. Really nice work. Can't wait to see this one finished.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my pick. This was a really eye-catching colour scheme. I loved the blue that's been used by Nelly here. It's not a colour we normally see on the Commonwealth, but stood out really well here, especially with the colour of the yellow the decking as well. Lovely contrast work going on there. And we've got just smatterings of red on the star of the cryo generator and the metallic black on the gun barrels. I just really, really liked the colour combination choices. It was something different, and it stood out really well. And it's nicely done. Simple, but very, very effective.
Yeah, it's not a colour scheme you sort of expect to see from a Commonwealth fleet. It's very, very bright and shiny, and it's got the typical red star that everybody seems to do for obvious reasons. It's a really vibrant, really standout sort of colour scheme. I really like it. It's nice. The contrast of the sort of turquoise against the light brown and the golds really, really works. Be interested to see more of the Commonwealth ships that he paints in this colour, especially something like the Doom Cannon would be very cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
So this is my pick from Arn, which is a Stoletov unit. I had to double check this because I know now there's more than one variant of these, and it's the Dragonov is the other variant, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I had to double check that it was definitely a Stoletov, and it is. And I mean, wow.
Yeah.
This is some incredible painting. The OSLs on the wings, just chef's kiss good.
It is.
Great edge highlighting, metallics good, the paint job itself's really nice, and the colour scheme, just, it all works so well. For such a small model.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
He's even got glow in the missile launcher on the turrets on the back, the eye in the middle. There's glow going on in that. That's so good. And it's a really nice detail putting on with any, for those that know use boats, you have to have lights on the side of your boat, so your green's on one side and red's on the other. I was going to say left and right then, but I get them notoriously badly mixed up. Green is on the right hand side of your vehicle, and red is on the left, port and starboard. And so, and having that nice little detail is really nice because they flash green, red. They're supposed to oscillate between the two. I imagine at some point he's going to do some with the red light on as well, just so he's got both. It looks really cool. It's a nice little detail putting that light on, and as you said, all the other touches on there, the edge highlighting, the object source lighting, the details he's managed to pick out, which are insanely small on a Stoletov. Brilliant. What a nice thing to have on your table.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the biggest models in the range, so to have all these details that stand out so clearly, it's, phenomenal work.
So this is my pick. This is clearly one of the new Hachiman in both variants, painted by Rob Walters. For a start, the colour grabbed my attention, and then the level of weathering that he's put into this. He's got on his original poster some lovely close-up shots of the weathering details he's got into the hull plates, and it was incredible to start with. The fact that he magnetized up and you could see all three variants. And when this ship came out, I jokingly said somebody's going to have to put a laser pointer inside it so you can do the laser ship, and he did. That is actually a laser pointer working away, making the lenses glow on the Matsumoto class. Oh my god, just brilliant that he managed to get that working. Wow. And what a way to show this ship off. Blooming brilliant. And look at the detail he's got on the Rin Exo subs on the Hachiman launcher. Those things are tiny, and he's got such detail on them. And just all the little viewports on the bridge at the top above the launcher. Brilliant. And then we've got the lenses, which he's got these painted gold rims on the metallic bits, mechanical bits of the lenses with black as well. That is a hell of a way to show off a new model. Brilliant. Love it.
Yep. It's, like you said, an incredible paint job, topped off by just some, what I imagine was fiddly conversion work to get that to fit in where it is. It's like, I know we said this before, that we don't want to be like singling things out, but I think this is definitely like the highlight of the month for me, just because of the extra little bit of engineering that's gone into it. It must have taken some doing, and the paint job on top of that is like gold star good. And the colour scheme is, I think that's box art matching, isn't it? The green, gold and red.
I think it is.
I'm fairly certain that's the colours that they've got in the box. Yeah, just mind-blowingly good. This community, just when you think you've seen the best thing you'll see, and somebody comes along and goes, "Here, hold my beer."
Blown away.
Right, so this is my pick by Dominic. The Crown Flying Squadrons from either the Squadrons box or the Avalon fleet. I don't think I saw it, the Avalon painted. I've gone for a very green month this month for some reason. I don't know if it was just the mood I was in or what, but there's quite a few of my picks have been green and red. But it's a colour scheme that really works. It looks great on the Tintadules and the Predanes. I really like the sort of, it's not a dark red, it's quite a vibrant red. And the green is the sort of green that I was planning on going for when I did mine, but it turned out a little darker. But I like both. Like, this is what I had in mind more when I wanted to paint it, but without the red, more silvers. But yeah, really, really nice. And the work on the bases as well, really, really good. It matches the mat he's playing on perfectly. Yeah. Like, he's managed to get that blue down, or the mixture of blues down, really, really well. Some good work.
I like it. It's a very military green, contrasting nicely with the reds on both the prows and on the rockets as you look at it. And as I said, the base work, the work on the ocean is really nicely done. You've got lots of texture going on in there, different shades of blue and white and grey going on. Yeah. It just goes to show they don't have to be the biggest models to be looking great. As we're showing here this month, we've had the Chronoplans and these as well. They're not the biggest models in the game by any means, but you can make them look so good.
Yep. If you're willing to spend the time to make them look good, you can absolutely make them just as stand out as the large ships for certain.
Okay, so this is one of my picks, these two Enlightened Cruisers by Patrick. What I really loved was the simpleness and the cleanness of this colour scheme. Silver and brass really stands out well on the Enlightened ships. They just lend themselves so well to these kind of colour schemes. And what made it caught my eye was, it's not actually a colour scheme we see, even though it's really the classic steampunk colours, and this game does have, of course, steampunk elements. It's not a steampunk game in itself, but it does have steampunk elements in it. It's not one we see very often, actually, this clean, shiny brass and silver like this. And I saw that and I just thought, yep, very Jules Verne, which is very fitting of the Enlightened style, and it's just lovely. It's simple, it's clean, nice work with the green to pick out the weapons and the viewports on the bridges, and I think there's a touch of green there on the small scythe fighter sticking out of the top of the carrier one. It's lovely. That's just simple and lovely.
Yeah, it's one of those instances where it is simple, executed to perfection. Like you say, that green really works against the silver and the sort of brassy, bronzy sort of. It's more brassy, isn't it? Yeah, silver and brass. It really, really works. I'm really impressed with the execution of it. It looks super clean as well. Like the fact that it's sort of got the lines clean, and you can see all the details in it really easily. And like you said, the little side fighter on the top with the green lighting as well. It's really cool. I definitely want to see more of these painted up, like the Chaos Orb in this sort of colour. Oh man, that's just going to be really eye-catching. Really, really eye-catching. So, as I said a minute ago, green, like I'm all about the green and gold this month. It's just a really cool colour scheme for the Empire fleets. I don't know what it is about them that just lends itself so well.
I think it's the jade motif that we associate with the Empire.
Yeah. Adam, who we featured before previously, I don't think it was Empire stuff, but he's consistently doing really nice work. And again, on the Colossus, it just really, really cool motif, and he's picked out all the details and balanced the colours out nicely of the gold and the green and the red, so there's not too much of the red and the gold just sticking to the trims. It's really, really amazing work. And the tentacles on the cruisers look suitably creepy in just the plain silver.
They do. I like the IKEA Colossus. The way he's done it looks like a battle mask. You'd expect a warrior to be wearing that mask and creeping you out, although the eyes stare at you. And lovely work picking out the edge details of all the ships. So you've got that lovely prow detail there going on with the cruisers. It's a cracking colour scheme, and I think you're right. Green just is the right colour for the Empire, even though, whether it's the China or the Japan fleets, green just works so well for it.
Yeah, it just makes both of them really, really pop well. It's got a quality that you can't really put your finger on, but I think you're right. I think it's the jade association with the Far East that people have. Really, really good work.
Okay, this is my pick. This was very early on in the month. This was posted on the Discord. Wow, that's some terrain. Look at it. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah. The dome work. Oh, this is apparently 3D printed. The dome work on the building in the foreground there, and you've got the moss. Obviously, that's not 3D printed. The moss, and you've got the small rows of houses there. Moving on into the docks. That's going to be a centerpiece on anyone's game, and if you're playing against this particular player, I think you're very privileged to have this on the table. What a lovely piece of work. I've got to get myself a 3D printer at some point. Yeah, right. I just keep seeing all these things people 3D print. I'm like, that's so good. I'm never going to do this.
It's a hobby into itself. Maybe we should do an episode about 3D printing and dystopian wars and Wild West extras in the future. It might be an interesting topic, but I digress. Yeah, what a cool board. The way it's sort of leaning into the idea that the Imperium have their stuff sort of roll on and off the docks, and having like the bits on the side ready just to roll on to go straight back out to sea with something different on them. Man, it's a level of detail that you sort of have to plan a little bit to make sure you can get everything all the elements that you want on the board all looking good together and working correctly. And I think achieved.
It's achieved. It's a nice looking map. There's some more islands in the background. I'm just trying to work out what ships those are in the background. Is it Canadian?
It looks like they're Canadian, yeah. It actually, that might be a Britannia. I think it might be a mix of British and Canadian, because that's definitely a Britannia battleship. I'm sure of it, but I don't know about the cruiser. And the submarines are definitely Canadian.
They look nice as well. If I've only got one complaint about this, is literally that was the only photo we got. We need some more of this, please. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. When you see this, you're not on Facebook. If you're on Discord and you don't mind us sharing more photos on Facebook through our page and Instagram, we will absolutely 100% credit you. But this board needs more photos, please, because it's incredible. So, I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking, don't recognise those from Wild West Exodus. I don't recognise those from Lost World Exodus. I don't recognise those from Mythos. Well, dear viewer, that's because it's not from any of those games. It is from Fallout Wasteland Warfare. So I own some of this stuff for the game, for solo play. I'm a big Fallout fan. Really, really like the universe. I've been playing it since the first game was released, so when a tabletop version came out, I was all over it. When I saw that somebody had used the War Cradle terrain to go in with the Fallout universe, I was like, I've got to show this off, because it works perfectly for the universe. The scale works, the setting works, it looks like, now I can see in the right hand photo with the My Alert Queen, that model is flipping massive. So you can see the size comparison against the hut and the derelict boat. I knew they were quite big, but being that big, I'm really, really tempted to buy them now, because they are going to be a board unto themselves and it's going to look incredible. I might do a Kickstarter for an extension so I can get more terrain somewhere to put it.
They are great. They are currently my favourite terrain, the Black Lake Bayou terrain sets, and seeing them used like this is damn cool. And I mean, look, you just put them together and they're done. You don't have to paint them no more. Have they been painted? Does he do an extra to it, or is that just that?
No, he's done.
It's just how they come. Wow, look at that. And the monsters running around it. I hadn't actually clocked the monsters when you first put this up. I wasn't sure where they'd come from. I just thought they were just some cool models, but I didn't realise they were Fallout monsters. Oh, yeah. If that doesn't make you want to buy the Black Bayou terrain, I don't think anything will, because that is a really nice use of them.
Again, it's something that we talk about on the podcast quite a bit, is that the War Cradle terrain is so versatile that it can be used in other game systems, and this is literally photographic evidence of that. It's big, it's cost effective, like Sam said, you stick it together and it looks this good. It's worth its weight in gold, I think, for the ease of use and the amount of use that you'll get out of it. And yeah, Black Lake Bayou is a super high on my list of things that I would like to get at the minute, just because it has so many uses, so much potential, and it looks like it was going to be a 4x4 board by itself without a lot of extras on top of it. So yeah, really cool to see. Really, really sort of glad I spotted this when I did. So that is our last pick for this month. We hope you enjoyed. We do have a couple of things in the pipeline that are coming soon, hopefully. We should hopefully be talking to Mad Admiral Calvin and a couple of other war hosts from Wisconsin Admiralty about the tournament, how it went, how they felt things did in general. And also we've got another one, maybe two 80s ads coming out this month, depending on time constraints and such things. So plenty of content this month, hopefully. I am going to put up a poll after this video's out, because something myself and Sam have discussed previously is covering the news items. So we enjoy covering the news items. We like talking about stuff and theory crafting and bits about the lore and background, but it generally tends to be, just because of the recording schedule, either after it's been released or just before it's actually comes out.
We don't get to talk about it quick. I mean, we could do it right now. We could talk about Cyclone for a bit now, but the point is, we normally put that on the regular podcast, and life gets in the way and we don't get to talk about it with urgency. By the time we've talked about it, many of our comrades in podcasting have already done so in great detail, and they've always done great jobs of it. It's lovely to watch those or listen to those as well. But do you want us to continue? I think, is it worth hearing our two penneth on this, even if it's late, or
is it something that we'll leave to the professionals? I'll put up a poll after this is out, and if you just head over to the Facebook page and let us know your thoughts. Like I say, we enjoy doing it, but if by the time it comes out people are kind of either bored or disinterested by hearing the stuff about it, then we might just cut out the news section completely.
Or we could put it as a separate podcast, just separate news bulletins, maybe. That's a better idea, because literally we could do that in half. Yeah. We could record that a lot quicker than it does our whole episodes. That's a separate idea.
Yeah, I'll put a poll up. I'll put, shall we continue with the news as it is? Yes, no.
Separate bulletin. We called it the Interbellum Illuminator, didn't we? As a newspaper. So we could have it as a separate podcast. So whenever the news comes out, we can be doing that without having to wait for other content. I think that may be the way to go. But we'll see what the people say.
Yeah, we'll go whatever the people say. It means we might have to do less recording, possibly.
Yeah, well.
Right. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.
Happy trails, pilgrims.